Hi, it's Matthew here from Simply Spanish Wine, and thanks for joining us for another video. Today, in this short video, we're going to be looking at the whole process of aging wine. We're going to try and do quite a simple introduction because aging is quite a broad, complex subject, and in future videos we'll be looking at more detailed questions like barrel types and sizes and the influence that can have on aging wine. But today we want to just try and answer two key questions. What is it when we talk about wine aging, and why does it matter? Aging is one of the key things that makes wine different from any other alcoholic drink. It's the naturally occurring acidity in wine that stops bacteria from developing and spoiling it, and thereby enabling aging to actually happen. But remember, not all wine is made to be aged. In fact, the vast majority of wine made and sold around the world is designed to be drunk within the first few years after we've bought it. It's important to distinguish between what happens to the wine inside the winery in terms of aging and what happens once it's been bottled and the wine has left the winery. So in many wineries, in Rioja for example, the winemakers will make their best wines to be aged in oak barrels before release. And what that does, that time spent in oak, it helps the flavors to gain in complexity, while at the same time allowing some of the natural flavors present in the oak barrel to leach into the wine, adding to the final flavor and the complexity of the whole package. So the next time you drink your favorite Rioja Crianza or Reserva, for example, think about this and try and see if you can taste those slightly spicy, more sweet vanilla-y notes, which are very typical of barrel aging. Bear in mind that how much of the flavor is actually imparted by the wood into the wine will depend on lots of factors, like how long the wine spends inside the barrel, what type of wood the barrel's made of. Is it French? Is it American? Is it Hungarian? And also the size of the barrel. The size of the barrel is important because if you think about it, the smaller the barrel, the greater the percentage of the wine is going to be in actual direct contact with the wood. So the higher chance that the flavors in the wood are going to leach their way into the final wine. Barrel maturing is a great way to prepare a wine for its subsequent time in bottle. The kinds of wines that you might buy and lay down, not to drink immediately, but in a few years' time. A wine's ability to age gracefully in the bottle can depend a lot on the flavor and chemical compounds present in the wine, the so-called phenolics. One of the important ones are tannins. That's the compound particularly present in things like grape skins, pips or stems, which can cause astringency in the mouth, kind of puckering up of the sides of your mouth. Another important one is acidity. Wines with a lower pH are generally better suited to aging than ones with a higher pH. Another important factor for wine aging in the bottle is temperature. Wines like a nice steady temperature to age with care, somewhere between 10 to 15 degrees centigrade. And it's also good if there's a little bit of humidity in the air as well, because that can stop the wine cork from drying out and contracting and letting too much oxygen into the wine. So what happens as a wine ages in the bottle? Well, what happens is that those phenolics that we talked about just now continue reacting with each other inside the bottle. In red wines, this makes the wines softer and gentler, what wine tasters sometimes quite annoyingly refer to as more approachable. Colour too changes. Typically, red wines will go from a purpley red tone when they're young towards a more red brick tone as they get older. White wines too go through a similar process. The important thing to remember is that as white wines age, the colour changes in a different way than to red wines. So when white wines are young, they tend to be paler and clearer, and as they age, they can take on more golden straw-like hues. We hope this short video on aging wine has given you a slightly clearer idea as to what it's all about. But don't worry, we'll be going into more detail over the next few weeks. about different aspects of wine aging to give you a complete understanding of the issue. In the meantime, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like or share it with your friends, or subscribe to our Facebook page. And if you've got any comments or feedback, we'd love to hear from you. Just scribble something below in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again very soon on Simply Spanish Wine.